Who's starting? What am I supposed to do when your body's calling? Loving that type of you. And I tried to play with something so special. But did I be a fool? That's too fat, don't just what to do with it. Control. I don't know. I'm in the middle. All I'm thinking is it won't be 100 million shawty. Make it easy to cheat. I'll see you soon. Love you out. Love you out. Love you out. Oh, baby, bring it closer. I know just what to do. You're the best in your world. Baddest in the world. The one that you need. That's like a show. I gotta say it. I'm far shopping right now, and all I see is you. Work it, work it, work it, work it, baby. I know it's been a while for you, baby. But you won't give it up, fit me, fit me. You know that we locked in. And your body is my girl forever. Don't take it from me, you know better. Won't come better, but you better never. I'm gonna get it hard, but all I'm thinking about is you. 100 million shots, make it easy to choose. How many minutes that now with a white you? Oh, baby, bring it closer. I know just what to do. You're the best in the house. Don't waste your love. I'm focused on you. And all I see is you. Hi, you guys. Welcome back with another video. Hi, you guys. We're so excited for you guys to be with us again.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Yes, we are. We are so glad that so many of you guys tuned in to
Mm-hmm.
see us.
Yes.
Some 17, 20
Subscribers. We're
Yes,
looking for more. We're looking for
yes.
more.
So we are so glad. Today is part two.
Yep.
Part two. So we are again, we're excited that you guys are here. We're glad for those who have tuned in.
Yep.
And
We're back. We're back. We're back on the YouTube. We're happy to be on the YouTube.
My name is Chandra.
And I'm Danielle, and we are the Living Room Flow. So I'm excited to discuss part two of our episode. Those who watched and those who will be watching in the future, you probably catch the first episode before you get to this one. If you don't, go back, watch the first episode, and then come back again. We talked about Chandra being shot in May of 2011. May of 2011.
It's been 14 years now.
And we wanted to continue that because there were some things that we felt was important to elaborate on a little bit more, life after. So that's what we're doing today, and
Yeah.
excited to be here. But before we get into all of that, how was your day?
It was actually really good today. Oh my gosh.
How was your day?
The boys had their basketball game today.
Oh,
And when I say Princeton was on fire.
yes.
Oh my goodness. They won their game I think 21 or 22 to like 15 or something like that. And Princeton put up 13 points. Oh my
Easy.
God. He was
Easy.
so ramped up.
Yeah. What he eat for dinner? What he eat for dinner?
The last game, Kingston did 7 points, and they ended up losing that game to like 11 to something. It was a real close game, but Kingston put up most of their points. So today,
Okay.
Princeton put up most of their points,
Right.
and he was so hot.
I love that.
Because when
I
he
love
started,
that.
Ken did call it. He was like, "I'm telling you, Princeton gonna cook this time. He gonna get up. He gonna get so many points, and then once he started, you gonna see him start showing off."
Yeah, he in that mode. He in that mode. He in that mode. Yeah.
Look at him.
Yeah. That's what's up.
Yeah.
I'm happy to hear that.
So they won today, and he was like, "Yeah, so I put up I made sure we won our game
Right.
today. I'm like, you did.
Yeah, and he
You
did,
did
and he
great.
did. I'm happy
Yeah,
about
he was
that.
super excited. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
they don't
that was
call.
such good. Me and
Yeah.
my mom was able to come out this time
Oh, that's
too,
good.
so I was excited
It's a
about
nice
that.
family day.
Yeah, he was like, "What you think? All my family was here. You didn't think it was gonna lose, was
Right,
it?"
right. Can't be
Like,
can't be on the bench. Can't be on the
good.
bench. I love that. I
Yeah,
love
it was so
that.
good. So we had that earlier today. So I did ministry this morning, and the kids had their game. Um, and so I was just excited that they won.
Right.
That they
Stroke
won,
that little
and
ego
that
a little
Princeton,
bit.
yeah, and that
I
Princeton
love
got
that.
out of his because he was so down on himself. Like
Right. He
when he's
building that
not able to
confidence.
get any points or able to do anything really that he feels is like beneficial to the
Mhm.
game or to the team, then he
Add
feels
to.
bad. Yeah.
Add to Vito.
Right. Because that is the song.
Right. Because why would
It's
he
like
do
one of the
that?
greatest songs ever.
Why would y'all do that?
So
That's
he's
good.
sad when they don't do that. So I was
Yeah.
definitely happy for them. So my day was great. We went out to eat
That's
after, and
good.
then really pretty much just planned to get together with you tonight.
Yes, awesome. I
Yeah.
love
How was
that.
your day today?
Pretty much. Well, I didn't have a game, but my
First of all,
son.
look, this hair.
Oh,
Let's
thank
not.
you, thank you. It was for
Okay.
the concert. It was,
Oh.
I did it for I did it for the concert. I'm sad, you guys. Really, truly, I'm sad. But
I
the day
know
was
it.
good. The day was good. Very
Because my
productive.
outfit is
I know. I knew
fire.
you was gonna be looking good. You looking good now. I knew you was gonna be looking good.
My goodness.
I was like, oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
man.
Yeah, I don't know. I was actually looking last night. I'm like, so
Yeah.
where are they
If you're
gonna
not coming
be?
here, where are you going?
You guys, this sidebar, right? We was going to Vito and Friday concert, right? Girls' night. And I woke up from my nap to an email saying that the show was canceled and they were gonna do 100% refund.
I am
Why?
sad. Do you hear me? So
Devastated,
sad.
honestly and truly.
And look, Danny sent me the message earlier today, and we was ordering another mic, and I
Right.
thought that that the order cancel was for the mic. I was not in
No.
my feelings in any way. Like we're gonna be fine. We
Yeah,
can
she
adjust
did.
the mic in the middle, no problem at all. I'm like, that's fine. We can accommodate that. Not even. Not
Babe,
even.
it's bigger than that.
Not.
It's
That
bigger.
makes so sad. God, what you told
We're gonna
me.
figure it out
Oh
though.
my
We're gonna figure
God.
it out. I'm gonna have to find out. I'm gonna work on that because I digress.
Because if
First,
I show y'all my playlist from Amazon Music,
mm,
Vito is literally in my top for
he's like an
for the class.
affirmation
Come on.
king. Like, and then
And then Top Friday on top of that, it's just like
and
he's
that's
such a
therapy.
musician.
That's
It is.
therapy.
It is. It
I've
is.
been searching for healing. Thought I was ready to get healed to be let down.
You know?
Pretty sad about that.
That
But other than
that
that, my day was good. Productive. My son had basketball training today this morning, so I had him up around like 8 a.m. to just get his organs flowing and fluid in his body. Prep his
Nine or the,
Nikel, yep,
okay.
Nikel. My baby going to the league, right? Even if you don't go to the league, I tell him, baby, it's just the principles and the skills that I want you to have instilled in you. But my man said he going to the league, so that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing.
Now, because we was talking last time, we talking about 14 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So Kel was months old.
He's the
Baby
baby
that was
that
in that
was,
tub.
yes, in the car seat, towel, no
When I
clothes.
say this baby, I mean, when I said him
Yes,
to jump out the tub,
yes,
I was, what?
yes, yes. Coming to get you, girl. I had to
Very
figure it out.
confused because I was
I
confused. In
had
the
to figure
back
it
of my
out, girl.
head,
The voice, it was the voice. You know, you gotta listen. Active
okay.
listening skills. You
Like,
gotta
you know
listen
what,
to those
Shay, I'm
things.
coming. You know what, you
It,
need friends like
yeah,
that.
you
You
do,
do.
you do.
You do.
But nevertheless, excited to be here with you guys.
I'm
And we,
glad you had a good start to the day.
yeah, we did. We had a good start. Did that. Went to Costco. Did some groceries. It's Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there in the world. So I did my Father's Day shopping and then came home, cooked some tacos, and Waited to hang out with you. Yeah, to see the peeps, to talk on the tube, on the tube. Yes.
So
I'm excited for part two. We got some good dialogue once again to talk about, and let's get into it, shall we?
yes, we shall. Just a few questions like we're touching on because it's a lot of things that I feel like we weren't able to really be able to express behind the situation. And we did have some guests that we were gonna bring in, but just last minute things, we weren't able to get them here today. So we'll have some different topics coming along the way, and you guys can be able to have us and some guests, so we can have that dialogue.
Right, and we'll be highlighting on entrepreneurship and all the things to
Yes.
just grow as a community, as a whole, as an individual, whatever, all the things. So look out for that. And follow us on our social channels. We got a Instagram. It is livingroomflow.804.
What's your personal Instagram?
A Southern underscore bells.
And then mine is Chan period Dra. His name is Chan, like Jackie Chan. Chan Dra, and then underscore Lewis. And then you guys can find us on Facebook, just regular, first and last name, Chandra Lewis, and then Danielle
Butler.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, because you'll have all those links and attachments to our podcast page that you guys can tune in.
Yes, and we love to see our likes and our subscribes go up. Even the thoughtful comments, you guys, they are very heartwarming,
Yes.
and I just us just love to hear them, to read them. It's just a constant reminder to keep going, and no matter what it is, big or small, the voices in your head, silence them and just do what you want to do to better you. If it makes you happy, go for it. So thanks again. We don't take you all's time lightly, because to watch a podcast is very time consuming. So thank you so much for tuning in and hearing what we gotta say, because we got stuff to say. Just hold on. So yeah.
At first, I want to start off really by just talking to Danielle and just trying to get like her mind on the matter because it was a lot going on, y'all. When I say, like I said, I was 20 years old. So Danielle, you're how many years younger than I am?
I was 18 at the time.
So 2 years younger than me. And so you're okay. Danielle's birthday is in October, and my birthday is in July.
Libra gang.
So I turned 21 that July, and that was something that we had touched on just a tad. It's just like 21, you think like it's like a milestone, you know what I mean? But I barely made it, and that was like one of those things where it was like, oh my gosh, I really just turned 21. And it was kind of like, you know what, just free spirited. I told y'all, I was just like, you know what, forget this. Off the meds. We just gonna cold turkey and we just gonna do what we need to do. You know what I mean? And Danielle being younger than me, like we clicked from the moment we met. When we met in high school, Danielle's like a firecracker. Like we
Mesh. Yes.
just being able to just talk, and she got good energy. It's like some of those. A lot of people don't have that. Let's just be honest. Right, let's just be honest. A lot of people don't have that, and I know I know so many people that know Danielle, and everybody says the same thing. Even my family, like everybody says the same thing. Every like Danielle is a good person to be around.
Love
Period.
that.
So
Love
it's good
that.
energy. Hence why she's the one that I'm
Yes, easily, easily, and vice versa, and vice versa.
Once
Truly,
we had that conversation,
that was it. That was it. We made it out the group chat. We made it out the group chat. So I love that for us.
So I just really wanted to pick her brain really and just talk to her about things that we never really was able to talk about. Not necessarily just the situation itself, because I don't want to make this, about just me. Although I do appreciate the empathy and all the kind words and the support from everybody. But I do want to know for those that was around me at that time, and we all went through that situation together,
Right.
like how this affected them, because that was one of the things on my mind that I was grappling with. I know what I was dealing with, what I was thinking, how I was feeling. But it was hard to try to navigate the space and what's everyone else thinking. Right. And because of what I was feeling, I didn't have it in me to have the conversation to find out
No,
like
you
what's
you
going
didn't you
on with
didn't owe
everybody
that.
else. Like,
In my opinion, you did not owe that. And granted, it is our podcast, but I'm okay with shining the light on you. And I sincerely mean that because as I'm processing and we getting all the different feedback, good and bad, and it's not bad in a negative way, but I like transparency, right?
absolutely.
Tell me where I need a critique at. We got a mic coming in because that's what y'all said. Okay, so I'm open to that. But I'm totally okay with shedding a light on this situation because it's relevant to today. Not only is it relevant to today, it's your story. So as is your story, nobody to better tell your story than you. So I was 100% okay with that. I'm thankful that I was thought of in the process that because I was present in the situation, but I'm definitely open to healing. And when I'm watching it back myself and looking back, and you said that us having a conversation healed a part of you, that warned me because I ain't never been shot. I've never been shot. So I don't know how,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
I don't know how. And to see you and to know
And
you,
it seems so dramatic.
like, it's not. It's really not, Chan.
Did you can see how we
No.
laughed? Listen, y'all. When I watched it back, and I'm like, why did I laugh?
No, you was.
Why did I laugh during that part? Because it's a serious story to tell. But in all honesty, when it was happening, then we was on the phone.
Well, nothing funny, bro.
We were
Well, not
we
funny.
were so confused because we didn't know what was going on. So it was kind of comical
Yeah.
in the moment until it wasn't funny.
No,
You know
it's
what I
not
mean?
like
Like
this
it
is
was
for
funny
real. These
until
is
it
real
wasn't funny.
EMT.
And you're like, hold on, what you mean you can't get
This
up?
is real fire
I mean,
department.
I can't get
No,
up.
this
I
is
mean,
this is real.
like, give me a minute. Like, let
No,
me
this
try to
yeah.
get up. And you're like, you know what? I'm on the way. And when that now she getting out the tub and like that is not comical because it says like, okay, this is something serious. And then when Boogie came in, it got that's when it
No,
got
for
real.
real.
Outside of that, before
Right.
then, had he not been present, we probably would have still been
Oh my
kind of
god.
snickering, trying to figure it out. Imagine.
And slowly, God forbid, maybe slowly losing conscience too,
No,
and don't even
seriously.
know that that's what's happening
Because
to you.
imagine him not being there and him having like stayed with his dad and us being on
Yeah.
the phone. You would have really been trying to break that
Right.
window in for
No,
real.
for real.
Because Sierra was trying to break in on the window like EMT trying to get in the door. Like, you know what? If they can't get in, I'm getting in
Somebody
this window.
is getting in
Like,
here.
get in.
Okay.
And in my mind, I'm like,
Pay attention. Turn around.
I gotta call to this door and let them in.
No,
They
and
gonna
I
break
didn't
this
even
door
know
and
that
smack
until
my
you shared
baby.
that. I did
Break
not know that you climbed
smack my
in.
baby.
That's crazy. And that's strength. That's strength. So I'm glad that we're able to have a part two and talk about the lingering questions, right? The life after, where are we now? How do we get to this point now where we able to laugh and talk about it
Yeah.
for to be judged, right? Because we're on the tube. So to be judged and to be like,
Y'all, I love y'all and all.
mm-hmm.
Any negativity and all that, y'all can keep that. If
No.
you don't have anything positive to say, go tell it to your mom. Go
Mm.
talk to God about it.
Yes.
Don't bring the negativity this way. This is all positive vibes and good energy. Because again, like I said, this is the reason why I have a partnership here with Danielle because there's always good vibes. However, there always some type of, feedback and people can share whether we look at it as a all the way positive. It can still be a positive even if it's not something that you feel is on the up and up. Like maybe I feel like this could help you type of thing. You know what I mean? Again, that's the construction. We can go ahead and help one another. Each one teach one. So if you have something that can help us, please share. And we'd love to hear what you have to say.
Truly.
However, if it's bad and negative, go talk to God about it. Or go tell your mom. I have 4 kids at home, and Danielle has 3.
And a dog.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I don't. My oldest is 17, have 10, 9, and my daughter is 5. I got enough energy to deal with at home. So we love you guys. We hope that you guys are continuing to tune in and subscribe because we do want to hear from you. However, we do not want any bad vibes. So if you don't have anything good to say, like we was raised, don't say it.
Don't say it at all.
Period.
Yes, yes.
So first, I want to start off by really asking Danielle. I really want to know how did she feel about the situation in itself, and like how did it affect her life, and or how did it affect the way that she had to live thereafter the fact.
Great question. So how it affected me after in today's present time, I would say
Because you mentioned that you had to that you moved.
I
Was it
did
something?
move. I did move. I moved
I
back.
didn't know that.
Yes, I moved back with my parents. Me and my 2 boys at the time. I moved back in with my parents because like I mentioned, I was very frightened, right?
Yeah.
I was very frightened for obvious reasons. The unknown. And I just really needed to reset. And my parents were worried too, so they were worryiness, hyping my worriness and my anxiety. Girl, to know her, bless, to know her. So I say that to say it definitely made me be much more cautious of my circle. Not to say that my circle was a bad circle or anything like that, but it just made me come back home and my foundation and to reevaluate myself, like my unhealthy habits, like yeah, my unhealthy habits, yeah, to identify what did I do,
Right.
what, why did this even, everybody have a why, right? Always when something happens, like why would this happen to me, I'm such a great person. You
Right.
like you said, you could be a great person and bad stuff still happen to great people.
Absolutely.
So that's
Look at
100% true.
Not to make it biblical, but I'm just
Yeah.
saying.
Oh, that is
Look
such a
at
sad
Job.
story. No, for
You
real.
know, great person, but bad things still
Yeah.
happens to good people.
Yeah, and that's true.
Yeah.
And I feel like that story, that situation, that part of our lives shaped me to the woman I am today. Yes.
Just like, are you serious
And
right
me
now?
ready to come up on an 18-year-old son. My son will be 17 the 28th of this month, June, when y'all watch this, because we're going to have future guests in the future. We're going to be like on Jennifer Hudson, it's going to be big. So he's ready to be 18. And it's like, one, if I'm being 100% transparent, I feel like I had too much freedom. Even though I was 18, there was also a leading up into, like there was no fear in me to be hesitant about making dramatic decisions. Hence why I had my own place at such an early age. But it definitely shaped me in a way to the parent that I am now. The things that I was able to do, my kids, baby, they can't do half of what I was able to do at a young age. And not to say that I had bad parents, but there's a lot of things that I was doing, like being outside and in different parties and clubs and hyperlinks, what is it, cafe, whatever, like all that. I was, yes, that's what we do at 18, but there wasn't a sense of fear, in a sense that I was like hesitant on doing what it was that I was doing, that I instilled not so much a fear in my kids now, but awareness, right? Awareness in the sense like you need to be smarter. If you see something going on that doesn't feel right, trust your gut, trust your intuition, trust your inner being. Yes.
I don't.
Mm-mm.
Because we were calling each other.
Mm-hmm.
We were not calling our parents when things was going on.
No, exactly. Trying to help the blind lead the blind.
And the funny thing about this is we was figuring it
No,
out.
for sure.
We were like,
For sure.
like, hold on, you do this.
No, for sure.
We were figuring it
For
out.
sure. Do you feel like our kids have that now? Absolutely.
No,
absolutely not.
My son was on ASAP.
Yes.
And
yes.
I love that about
Me
him.
too.
He
Me
will call
too.
me immediately if
Mhm.
something took place.
Yeah.
And I want that.
Yeah,
I
me
want him to
too.
call
Thank
me.
God for that, cause my kids do too.
I
Not
would
that
be terrified to call
no.
my mom at that age.
At,
My mom,
and then not even.
adapted.
It's gonna be 50 million questions before I get the help.
Yes. Oh my gosh, no.
Like, baby, I'm dead now. Like what?
I can't call her. I
No.
can't call her. Mom gonna be scared.
But it definitely did
Trust
change
me.
me in that way. And in
Yeah.
terms of how I parent my kids, how I live my day to day life, just a sense of awareness.
Yeah.
And to sum it up, in a sense of awareness, to just be much more aware and the knowledge, because like I said, that situation helped me more than it hurt me, to be honest. It helped me to filter and to take and apply what I need to take and apply, because survivor skills, they're there.
Oh yeah.
They're there.
Absolutely.
They're there.
100%.
Street smarts, they're there.
100%.
They're there. All of that. Book smarts, all of that's there. And that has to do with me having so much freedom. So it's like a good and a bad that I had so much freedom at a young age, because it helped me apply. I heard a great quote the other day. And it had to do with parenting. It said, if I forgive me if I'm butchering it, it said, it's not that I'm smarter than you. It's just that I've been through what you're going through already. So I have the wisdom to grow you in that way. And I was like, wow. Yes.
So in order for you to apply knowledge, that means you have to have been through something to know.
Right.
You don't know enough to be wise enough in this type of circumstance. So that's great. Yeah, I definitely appreciate that.
So yeah, that's how I would say, to sum it up, it just made me, excuse me, a lot more aware. It made me a lot more aware, to just sum that up. A lot more aware, and to a lot more,
would you say smarter?
Definitely smarter. Definitely smarter. Definitely smarter. And aware. Yeah, it did.
You was immature,
And it set me down. Yeah.
Yeah, in a certain way, it's like, okay, girl, like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Like, now that this is happening, like, you know.
And then on kids on top of that, like, now not only just us, but we got kids.
Yeah.
Following us around like ducks too. Like,
no, seriously.
you know, you can't have your kids up in that. So
yeah.
That's,
I honestly didn't want to have any more
no,
after that.
I didn't want any at all. Here I am. Here I am.
For those who know me, oh my goodness, my sister could tell you. I mean, friends of mine, said Steven and whoever else.
Right.
Like I was not gonna have no kids.
Really?
That's not part of the plan.
Okay.
I was going to high school.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
I was going to be. I had a whole plan. I always been organized, set. Like I know what I was gonna do.
For sure. I admire that about you. That is very true.
Being young and dumb.
No. No.
I'm just living, and like
you needed them kids. Them kids needed you.
And you know what? I have to say that even just thinking back, that was absolutely great to touch on that. Because I have sat back and thought and had conversations with me and God, and just like, you know what? He does know exactly what you need. For sure. And it's like, to be honest with you, if you didn't have them, you would have responded to certain circumstances differently. Yeah. The fact that you have them, thankfully, you have a heart for them. Right. Because it's one thing, you have parents that have kids and they don't think like that. They don't react in a certain way. Right. They don't move in a certain way. They don't operate in it. It doesn't really, they don't have a heart for the kids. They don't put their kids
first, no. And there's several parents, like, several people out here that's like that.
Be a woman or a man.
Right.
It's not a gender
right.
thing.
No, it's not.
However, it's just like, you know, when you, like I said, I sat there on that bed with a breathing tube down my throat and a dry erase board writing on that because I couldn't speak, and chest tubes down, you know, 2 on this side, 1 underneath the breast, 1 underneath one on this side, and I'm thinking to myself, oxygen mask, you've eaten through a tube.
No, seriously.
And you can't get up, you can't move, your spine messed up, like you can't walk. And I'm like,
so for the people that want to know, so it went through your shoulder, your arm.
So it went through my arm.
And came out.
It ricocheted. And so I had 4 fractured ribs on my left side, and then 2 fractures on my ribs on my right side, and then I had fractures to my spine.
Oh my
So that was the
goodness.
worst part of it. My
Yeah,
spine
because
was
you need
fractured.
that.
So they ended up having to cut me underneath the left breast in order to put another chest tube down because my lungs was just not develop. It was not
So
getting better.
is all the bullets out of you now?
So it was just one bullet,
Okay.
surprisingly. So that's why when I made the live for the actual
Right.
first episode, I went into detail to let them know, what actually took place, but to tell them, for those who do know about ballistics, it was a small bullet from what I
Okay.
was told.
Okay.
So if the bullet is small, so if it's bigger, like it probably would have blew a hole through.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But because it was smaller, thankful to the
Right.
cowardice who decided to get a 22 or whatever type of gun it was, but the bullet was smaller. But when it's smaller, it ricocheted through the body. So it went in this way. So he shot through the window. He probably thought he was gonna just shoot me and that would be done. But maybe he was shooting from the top of me or whatever.
She's saying he, but we don't. Why we the person?
No,
Right.
exactly.
Right.
It went in because I'm standing up and this is the window
Right.
technically, and literally this is a couch,
Right.
like we're on right
Right.
now, table right here, and it went through the arm. So when it went through, it just literally ricocheted from
Yeah.
spine to rib to this to that, and it was just lodged right here in my chest.
Hmm.
So when I got out, it was stuck. But like when it would rain, oh my God.
Remember you said it
One of
like
Stephen
bulged
friends,
through your
yeah,
skin.
Stephen and one of Stephen friends, you know Bobby?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
whatever. But he was a witness too. Like when it would rain and it was so cold, the bullet used to like bulge up in the skin, like it was trying to come out. It was trying its best to just like push itself out, and then when you could see it, literally just see it moving.
Yeah,
Oh
that's
my God. He would
crazy.
sit there because I'm not like Steven might be asleep or whatever the case may be. We'll be all be together. He would literally sit there with me until
And
like it like go
oh,
away.
he got a good heart like
Oh yeah,
that.
you gotta
That's a cancer man.
you gotta
Yeah, he's
yeah,
got a good heart like that.
you gotta
Bobby Orange, he knows.
good
No, for sure.
I mean, with me through the thickest of
No, for real.
that particular situation. Um, and I was just, he was like, yo, you gotta, like, we gotta do something. Like, I don't know.
We need an ice pack.
Like, and I was just like, I gotta get this out. Like, I don't even know what I need to do, but it was like, okay, on a follow up appointment that we go
That's
to.
what I wanted to
I'm
ask
gonna
you.
tell
Like, how did you get to the point where you got it removed? Because I remember you talked about how you felt like, why am I walking around with this?
It just was,
Okay.
and if it wasn't causing me so much pain, I'm gonna just keep it, the 100 with y'all. I was mad that I had it in me at all because I'm thinking to myself, how's we gonna find
Right.
who did it if I got the
What?
evidence?
This is evidence.
If I got part of the evidence, how are we gonna find this
Right.
person?
Oh, they don't show that on First 48. They got everything.
Me wanting to be a lawyer as a young kid did not help. You hear me? I'm like, absolutely not. They need this. And
No, for real.
it was causing me so much pain when it was raining and when it was cold. I mean, I could tell when
it was ready to rain.
I can tell
when the weather was ready to change. Yeah.
It was literally hurting me, and my back would hurt so bad.
Poor
Ooh,
babe.
my muscle spasms. It was terrible. And so, like, really trying to toughen up through that.
No, you should not have to.
I gotta get this out. I gotta get this out. I gotta get this out. So then I just like, I mean, from June to October,
That's a long time.
I was like, you know what? When I go see her, go see my doctor at that time.
So June and October was your next doctor's appointment.
No, I seen her multiple times as a follow up, but at this point,
that's where you was fed up at. Okay,
because I had asked questions like, "Why do I still have it?" And she, explained like it wasn't causing me any type of damage.
So did you have to go through another surgery to get it removed? How was?
I did.
Okay,
I did, but this one was outpatient. I was able to go in
and come out the same day. Okay,
Yep, but they just let me know they couldn't take out everything.
Okay.
There were little fragments and things that's still there,
Mhm.
and they took out what they could take out,
Right.
and that was it, and everything would heal up. But it was just like, you know what? I was happy that it was out. Like I didn't have
No,
to
for
deal with that.
sure.
And then it was like, okay, now that that's out, I had maybe a couple weeks or so because I was doing good without the brace because I cold turkeyed it and
No,
stopped
that's
using it.
strength. I love that.
No medicine and everything. I mean, God, it's so good when I
Mm.
say really holding me right hand and all, holding me and keeping me steady. Um, so I can go back to work because
Mhm.
I was like, I need to go back to work. I could not deal
Yeah.
with that and not being able to do things. This was my promise, me and God. Okay, when you get me off this bed,
Mhm.
then I'm gonna make sure I'm good. I'm gonna make sure
No,
that
for
my son is
real.
good.
Yeah.
And I didn't really need no other kids. I
Mhm.
didn't need nothing else
It
at
was,
that.
yeah,
I just wanted to make sure that he
traumatic
was.
enough.
Oh yeah.
Right.
I just wanted to make sure that he was good. Just don't take me and he doesn't have
No,
nothing.
but
I
I
need
think
to make
that's
sure that he's
every
good.
parent's prayer. Don't leave
Yeah.
me here
Oh God.
and my kids is just left to figure it out on their
Oh
own, because death
seriously.
changes you. And I'm speaking from experience. Death will change the people around you who you never expected.
And that's what that was one of the
Never
things I dealt
expected.
with. What if I had died?
Yeah.
Like it was like you're alive, but you're living as if you're living like what do you call that in the third person?
Mm-hmm.
Because you're not in the
Mm-hmm.
first person. Like you're not
Mm-hmm.
talking about this is me looking like kind of like an out of
So
body
yeah,
experience. Like I'm
yeah.
looking from a different
Right.
person's
Right.
perspective. Like what if I had died? What would this situation look like? What would this person be doing? How would this be? It was just weird.
Yeah.
Like you have so many different emotions and different things going through your
And they're
mind.
all valid.
Oh my gosh.
They're all
Oh
valid.
my gosh. And then it was like, okay, so do you
Mm-hmm.
kind of feel like this changed like the way that you feel kind of like in a trust factor way? You know, how did
Yes.
it change and how did you
Yes and no.
trusting people
And
moving
I
forward?
say yes because it made me more aware. Going back to the
Yeah.
first one, made me more aware and more conscious of who I have around me and what am I benefiting? What are we benefiting from each other in
Right.
this scenario, in this friendship, in this partnership, in this relationship? What are we around for? Are we around to just kick it and politic and BS all day, or
Right.
can I pick up the phone to call you when I need my son to be picked up from after school curriculum activities? Like, what is
Right.
this? So in that regards, yes, it made me evaluate my circle better.
Yeah.
Evaluate my circle better. And then I say no because I feel like I always been that person.
Yeah.
I've always been conscious and careful about who I've been around and what I let put into me. And I feel like I've done that since a young girl. Um, I've been I've had a lot of relationships in my life where people just don't do right by me for whatever reason, right? Whatever reason, like you said earlier, good things happen. I mean, bad things happen to good people. For some reason, I just have had very unhealthy relationships in my life. And that made me reevaluate myself because I'm allowing these healthy, unhealthy relationships in my life
Right.
to keep being around me. Um, so I evaluated in that
And we're
aspect.
not speaking on
No,
like gender as
no,
far as a
no,
male or female.
no.
We're just saying
In
period.
general, and that could
Right.
be family, that could be work, whatever,
Yeah.
business, that could be whatever, whatever, whatever,
Right.
whatever. If whatever. So that did help me once I moved back home with my family. That made me reevaluate everything. I can remember me sitting at home in my parents' room. I had put all my things, well, in my room, my old room. I put everything in storage.
Mm-hmm.
From my apartment. I was sleeping on an air bed. Girl, we ain't had no curtains up because I wasn't planning on being there for long. But
Right.
once I was there getting home cooked meals, mama cooking, I'm like, ain't that bad. I'll take the chicken out. So I'm like, okay, cool. But I wrote down. I wrote down my next. I think I started at. I'm not 100%, but I think I started like at my next 6 months. Like my next 6 months, this is what I want in my life.
Yeah.
And I to this day I still do that. Short term goals. My next 6 months, I wanted to have X, Y, and Z. I wanted, excuse me, I wanted to have this type of, even that is my prayer now, to just have genuine people around me. That's always been my prayer, and to just allow me to focus on me. My our sons was super young at that time, so I just wanted to be the best example for him.
I'm so glad
Yeah.
when they reunited,
It's
it's just
beautiful.
like it's like picked up from where they left
No,
off.
for
It was
real.
like
I love that for them. I love that for them. So I would say in that way, it had made me reevaluate a little bit better, reevaluate my circle a little bit better, my relationships and myself. First and foremost, myself. Like you gonna have to, yes, girl. You gonna have to eliminate some things, shed the fat, as my grandma would say, shed the fat to figure out what's going on. And I had to shed the fat off of myself to see where I was, because in my mind, I'm grown. I'm grown. I got these kids, two and two. I got these kids. Like you can't keep, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to figure it out. You can't keep running back home when something happens. You're gonna have to figure that out. And that's where I was. I was just like, let me get myself together in a sense of healing.
sad.
Yeah. I can imagine.
That's
I
sad
was
that
too.
happened.
When I was looking back at the video, you was like,
And I had to move back home.
yeah. I wanted to ask you
She's
that. Was
like
you
had to
sad?
take the lease for the apartment and move all my stuff back. I was just like, it felt
Why?
like
Why were you sad?
backwards. It felt
Ah,
like
okay.
backwards. And I'm just like, you just work so hard to be able to get your own things and do what you need to do. And
I can
things was
understand
going
that.
well, and now boom, now you having to start over from this square. And then at this point, I couldn't work, so it was just like, God, I just
Mm.
that was irking me all on its own.
To
I
start
can't work.
over, yeah.
Yeah, depend on other people to do stuff and help take care of you. It's just like it felt. And then here I was turning 21. I didn't feel like that. I didn't
Mm.
feel like I was turning 21. I
So
didn't
you
feel like
didn't take account of, hey, I went through a very dramatic situation. Okay,
it
okay.
was just like now, whatever this is, like, it's taken away from my progress.
Mm.
And it's setting me back. And it's just like
Mm.
I was more upset about that than
So we
anything.
had two
And I
different
couldn't drive.
perspectives on it. Yeah,
I
and I
couldn't
can
drive,
understand
and
that.
it's like, okay, now I had to give up my car. And I remember my sister, that lives in Maryland. She was like, I wish you would have told me. I didn't know,
Told her what?
that I couldn't keep the car
Okay,
because
yeah.
I'm like, I'm not working. She was like, she would have helped because I was on medications and things, and I could not drive.
Yeah.
So it was like, okay, paying insurance
For
and
no
registration and
reason.
different
Something
things,
I
like,
can't
and
even
I can't.
use.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't even use it. Don't know when I'm gonna be able to use it. And she's like, she would have helped. And it's just like, but I didn't have it
In
in
you
me
to
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 ask.
communicate that.
Yeah, to say. It was like it was just a mental thing,
So
just
if you
wrapping
needed
up that.
help now,
That's the trust factor.
would you ask for help? Are you more open to asking for help now?
Uh,
I guess that's a no.
I would say, I mean,
Depending on what the
it would
situation
right. It
is.
would have to really be a dire
Mm,
situation. Like I would really have to feel like I really don't have any other way. Like it would be
uh,
last resort. I wouldn't call on anyone because
yeah, I
I
can
really
understand
felt
that.
like I couldn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's my back is against the wall, no one's gonna get a call from me. me,
I
me
can,
and God, we back and
right,
forth. We can't
and
nobody
he's a reliable source, so I
That's
can
what it
understand
is.
that.
Because I just have learned, like, again, that's what that question of trust came in at.
Yeah,
It was like, you know what? I really don't know. And
right.
I don't know who to trust. I don't know what to do. Um, like I said, the nightmares was so,
Yeah.
what's going on, and the paranoia was there. It was really. That's why I said it's so easy for me to go into isolation.
Yeah.
That's not even enough.
Me either, girl. It's
It's so
actually
easy
scary. Like,
to go into
why
isolation
can
and be
you just
quiet and
detach like that?
silent.
Yeah.
People, where you been? Like you been ducked off, or I ain't seen you, or it literally just quiet for
No,
a
and
second.
you
Like
need
you have to
that.
step back for a
No,
second to be able
and
to
look at
see. It's kind of
everything,
like
right?
sitting in the corner of the courtroom.
Yeah, no,
It's the
that's
same
good.
thing.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
like
yeah,
sitting in the
yeah, yeah.
courtroom. I can see everything. I can analyze what to do, when to do, how to do,
Hmm.
and it helps me to do things. However, I will say I have easily been able to suppress things
Elaborate on that.
where I can compartmentalize,
Okay. Yeah,
compartmentalize things where everything has its place. It
for
puts in a certain
sure. Yeah,
place,
yeah, yeah.
and I can be like, it's kind of almost like put this on the back burner and I can do
Party.
this and I can do
Right.
this. However, even though you suppress it, doesn't mean that it's gone away.
No.
It's still there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's still something that may be affecting your day
Right.
to day living, may be affecting your, your decision making, but it's not right here on the forefront, so
Right.
you're not accounting for that.
Right.
And so, where is it? I might make a decision, and it's like, you know what? These things that's right here on the forefront is the things that's making me do this. However, these things that I've suppressed for so
Mm-hmm.
long is also a part of that in the back of the mind that's
Right.
calculating this decision is also accounting for those things.
Mm-hmm. That's
Those
true.
things are helping me to do that.
Right.
My trust factor for individuals are very, very, very,
Mine is too.
very low.
Do you hate that for you? I hate that for me sometimes.
I don't like that, but I have to say that I feel like everything happens for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like it may not be, where we look at it like it's a bad thing and it's not something that we should go through. You're absolutely right. You shouldn't have to go through that. However, when it does happen, like what does this do for you? How
Mm-hmm.
does this benefit you? And at
Mm-hmm.
the time, I didn't look at any type of benefit at all.
Right.
It was like it was taken away from me, and I think that's the part that I really grappled with.
Right.
It was taken away from me having my own place,
Right.
being able to do for myself, being able to do for my son. I
I
can't
can
even lift him
understand
up.
that. Yeah.
I can't do anything. The body is
Mm-hmm.
aching. It was funny because remember I was saying that um I used to have like these little where the body would kind of like jerk almost. Like you
Yeah.
have like this little tingle and it would
Right.
happen instantly. It's not something that I can control. It was happening at any given time. And it hasn't happened for years.
That's
I just talked to
beautiful.
Ken about this the other
Yeah.
day. It hasn't happened for years. And it happened the other day. So not
Really?
today, but the day before. So what's today? Saturday.
Saturday.
So Friday.
Okay, yesterday. Oh
And it was
wow.
like, what is going on? When I say, and I mean the intense,
How did you
like
handle that?
it was like, and it's so weird because it's like when I used to be in the shower, like if it was the water was cold, like a certain temperature, the body would it would feel like to the touch, it would feel like
Right.
it was stinging.
Oh.
Like it's stinging, like you gotta change the temperature so it don't
Yeah.
feel like that. And or if I was, it could happen while I'm driving, when I'm sitting in the bed, when I'm walking, the leg or the body just kind of like jerks, and it's like you feel like a crazy shock
So
pain
when that
or
happened to you
tingle in your
yesterday, what you
body.
do?
It hit me like a ton of bricks. I
Man.
just said that this hasn't happened to me in years,
Yeah.
and here it is happening.
Did
Why
it
is this
stir up
happening?
any like emotional
It was
dis
kind of like this is happening again.
oh
This is
wow.
starting up. At one, I started to feel like, okay, I've grown out of it.
Mm-hmm.
But here we are, 14 years later. I might be easy to talk about, but these things are
Are
still
still
going on,
affecting
which
you.
is weird.
Yeah.
The fact that it just started to happen again.
That is
Um,
weird. Wow.
I don't maybe because we talk
Right.
sending,
Signals.
emotion,
Yeah.
but definitely, when I not, and it's not something you can control. And I
Mm-mm.
mean, the shock from the bottom of the feet to the top of my hip, you can feel it going through, and the leg is
Can't even
doing one of
control it.
these type of jerks. Yeah, and for those who do know me, I have tattoos on both of my feet. So on the top of both of my feet, and when I got these, that foot was like this whole
So you got your
thing.
tattoos after.
Yes,
Oh,
yeah, the
okay.
legs were. I mean, the tattoos. The leg was like shake, 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 shake.
You're probably like, girl, go.
I guess.
Girl, go ahead.
I
Oh,
got
wow.
one in Steven's mom's living room when she used to live on Slumber Lane,
Oh,
and
wow.
I got the other one. I want to say Charity was with me when I got the second one. But oh my goodness, this my nerves were so bad,
I can
and it's like not
imagine.
something that you can even control.
Right, like,
Yeah,
chill out. Like,
but
okay.
I would definitely say that just trust in terms of just human ability, it completely went out the door. It was just like
I think I'm slowly starting to get back my trust in humanity.
Yeah.
Um, I've now that I just restarted life again.
Yeah.
I'm like on my, I don't know, trillion life. I love this life, this little life. I love this life. Um, I feel like I have trust is slowly starting to creep back in, that I'm open to new relationships, I'm open to new friendships, I'm open to new things in life, that it's like, okay, because I am able to easily identify what I'm willing to deal with and what I'm not willing to deal with,
Right.
what I don't like, what I do like,
I
and
think it comes with age, though,
I do.
or it comes with
Both,
experience.
both,
Okay.
both. I
Okay.
feel like age, yes, I feel like age definitely plays a part. And taking it back to parenting, me being a mom has something to do with that too, because
Yeah.
my kid be like, Mom, I be at my friend house, I'm looking around, I'm locking their doors, like, why, why y'all got those? What y'all doing? Like y'all lock y'all door. So he be like, well, you, because I'm very transparent with my kids.
I was wondering
Yeah.
with you. How do you think this affected you in terms of motherhood? Because see, I had one child at that time, and what I was dealing with is technically totally different than what you were dealing with.
Right.
You know, I was, so fixated on the fact that this could have been him, and I was so sad and just thankful that God allowed me to live
Yes,
past that
Chan,
situation and
yes.
take care of him as a mom, be there for him as a parent and be
Right.
able to raise him.
Mm-hmm.
But just for you, like your children, how do you feel like it affected you in terms of motherhood, or even like your family life, like with your parents and just life in general? How do you feel like it affected you moving forward in terms of being a mom?
Communication. To communicate any and everything, whether I don't like peas on my plate, to down to, yeah,
Doesn't like
no,
peas.
no, I don't like peas in my plate. So, Mom, I'm having
Peas.
I don't even like peas. So, yeah, unless it's peas and rice, but those are really like beans. But yeah, something as small as,
Fried rice.
no, rice, no, right. However, he decide, what, no matter how small it is, to
Kids that could be watching. When mom used to make me eat peas, I used to put them in my drink.
oh, and then what you do with your drink?
Just put it in the sink.
Oh,
They examine the trash, right?
they,
The peas dissolve very quickly. So I used to drop my peas in my
I didn't really grow up in a green peas anyway. I didn't really grow up in a green peas house. Rice and peas.
So disgusting.
Yes, I do eat rice and peas, but
Rice and peas we can do, but peas.
green peas, I didn't grow up with those in my household. No, thank God.
Thank God.
Right. She didn't play like that. She not even ready to play like that.
Yeah.
No, we didn't grow no pea.
Gosh.
No.
Yeah, I used to put them in my drink.
Mm.
Put them right in my
That's
drink.
very
And,
interesting.
like, I'm gonna sacrifice this drink today, honey. You
For
think
the
I'm gonna eat these
peas.
peas, but I'm
No, peas is
yeah,
nasty.
yeah.
They just look nasty.
This garbage disposal in this drink won't eat these peas because I'm not.
And they
Peas are
smell.
soft
And
and
they
mushy.
smell.
Yeah,
They
they
have
will
they have an
dissolve
odor
great
to
in
them.
this
Yes,
drink.
now that I'm thinking about it, they do have an odor. But it did change me in that way. Something as small as that to something that has a higher magnitude, right? It just makes me communicate well and better, transparent, and whatever it is, like, hey, even now I'm grown, right? And I would still text my dad and be like, hey, dad, I'm going X, Y, and Z. just so they can. It's a location on me, and he does have my location, but still, you know that I'm accounted for in this space. So communication in that way.
Right.
I will also say trust and being a safe space. Trust and being a safe space in a way that you don't have to hide anything from me. I don't want you to
Right.
feel like you have to put a band-aid on what it is that you just get it out. Get it out.
Tell
And
me
that's
what it is.
and
I
that's
can make an informed
yes,
decision.
yes,
Oh my
yes.
goodness.
And that can be
Do
as
not lie.
no, don't lie. Cause
Yeah, 'cause
now
I can't help you if I don't know.
no, don't lie.
Absolutely.
Don't lie. Seriously, don't lie. Like the
Do
kids
not.
know, don't lie. And that can be however they decide to communicate, whether that's verbally, whether that's through text messages. Each kid is
And
different.
sometimes I hate when Boogie is completely honest.
Yeah.
God,
I don't think I'm.
sometimes I do. I'm just like,
I said, give me a minute.
like, what you
Give me
doing?
a minute.
Can't believe. And sometimes I get frustrated, and it says like,
Why would you want to do that?
get frustrated? But it's just like, oh my God, be slow to speak and quick to listen, quick to
Yeah.
listen, slow to speak. What?
Yeah.
What?
That's how
What?
me too.
What?
Mhm.
Sometimes I just get so worked up, and he just like, gosh, okay, mom, what? You know?
Sometimes I don't even do that. I will just ask questions with no reply to my question. Like I just let him answer the question, but I have no feedback to what it is that he's saying. And then once he's done, I'll be like, "Give me a minute. Give me a minute."
That might be a good.
Because I have to digest
Oh yeah.
what it is that you're telling me, and I don't want
Yeah.
my response or my anger or my emotions to shut you down. So I just sit, I'll listen to him, I'll ask questions, literally like a lawyer, like we're in court. I'll just ask open-ended questions, right? Open-ended questions.
Not like
Ah.
here.
And then I will
Oh,
just
no,
ponder, and
Danielle.
give me a moment. And then he'll text, and he'll be like, "Are you mad?" Like the other day, he knew he was being
He
in no
don't say
way.
anything. I bet he is.
Yeah.
Mad.
I
He's
can't.
smart.
Are you mad?
He
Texting is
is
his
such
communication.
a gentleman.
I love
Y'all,
him.
I must say that. I'm not even playing. When he was helping to even set up for this, because he's helping us to set up. When he was helping to set up, and I was just like, I said something about like a drink or something. Oh, I was actually talking about Chauncey. So
Okay.
Danielle's dog is hanging out with us. And his name is Chauncey. And I was like, oh, he must be really thirsty. And he was like, oh, you thirsty? You want something, some water or something? And I was like, oh no, not me.
The dog.
I was like, no, not me. I was joking on him. He was like, oh, okay. And I'm
Okay.
like, but that's sweet though. I'm like, I like that.
Thank you.
I like that
Thank
you caught that immediately.
Yes.
He didn't wait.
Attentiveness.
It's an immediate
Yes, because
response.
as a man, and I teach this to my boys, and I'm not a man, right? I'm just if I was a man, okay. I teach them that as a man in a problem, it is your job to find the solution in that. It is your job to find a solution to that problem. So if there's a problem, you don't add to the problem. You don't make the problem bigger. You find the solution to that because that is your responsibility as a man. Because one day you're gonna be somebody's daddy. And when you're a kid and you come to you and say, "Hey, Dad, I'm hungry," are you gonna say, "Me too," or are you gonna cook them something to eat? You better get the cooking. And if my baby called me and tell me that they're hungry, we're gonna have a problem. So yeah,
My baby's calmed down.
I don't want none no time soon. Please, I don't wish that on me.
Oh gosh.
But in that way though, I think overall to just be a little bit more or a lot more attentive communication and just know that my kid is human too.
Yeah.
And they're learning and they're growing just like I learn and I grow. And to know that my kid is not in the streets, they're not half of what I witnessed. They're not in that life at all. So the little bit of what in the world? No, no, me too.
Situation.
Me too.
Because like we were thinking about having a conversation with them, but like as soon but he was like, well, mom.
Yeah. Yeah, and I love that. I don't want that to be their thing. I don't want
And
that.
I just hugged him. I just hugged him. Then I
And
couldn't
he's
even do anything.
beautiful.
I just hugged him. I'm like, oh my goodness. Like,
He's beautiful.
and I,
He's
like, I'm
beautiful.
glad that you don't hear
Yes.
anything because before when he was younger, he would always like say something
Like
like
what?
about that. Like, oh yeah, because like he would mention it.
Really?
Like he could call it to mind. And you
Yeah.
have to love that he cannot recall this to
I had asked
either
him
one of them.
to. He was like, "What is y'all first episode
Yeah,
about?"
like
And I
he was
told him,
physically there. So
"Yeah."
the fact that he can't recall this to mind, because we have mentioned that
I just can't believe Boogie
he
is grown the way
said
that he
something.
is. Oh my god. I can't like the little bow leg, like him and his
He's so
toys. Like,
mature.
oh my
Oh
god, that is a
my
man, honey.
goodness. I'm telling
That
you.
is a man.
He'd get home like, oh,
Yeah, he said, "Fix that shirt.
it was me.
Fix that shirt.
Me
Fix
who
that
was
shirt."
it. I'm like, oh,
Oh my god, I love that.
he even just like being there and going through that situation and just to see how he has been shaped over the
Yeah,
years and who has grown into, I have to appreciate
yeah.
who he is as a kid.
It's
Like
good
he's still a
moms.
kid.
It's good moms.
I don't
It's a
toot
good
my
mom.
horn,
I'll be
but
tooting mine.
if I had to, if I were to go to there tomorrow, I would be okay with the way that he is.
Yeah.
Like he's mature, he's the oldest, he's made it, and I can trust that he's going to. He may make mistakes, but
Mhm.
I do trust that where he is mentally and how he is, like he will get there.
For
He'll be able to
sure.
figure it out, and he's gonna be like, you
Yeah.
know what? This is what I need to do, because when things happen, like he calls me immediately.
Self-aware.
And I love that.
Yeah.
That you trust me.
No, for
Like
real.
because it's
No,
like
for real.
you might be scared, like your mom or your parent is not gonna respond
No.
well, or you don't know what to do, and you're gonna, like I said, we were calling each other. That is a fact.
No, for
You're getting
real.
some stuff, you're calling your family.
Yeah, I ain't come
You
home
went in there
until I
calling.
got back to the house. After I collected my kids and your kid, I come home after I had got them, like, they had snacks and watching Dragon Tales. Like, they was good. I'm like, oh my god.
Even to this day, unless it is an absolute
Need,
necessary
like,
situation, I just have to talk because I don't want to stress her out.
no.
I don't know how mom's gonna react. I'm like, oh
Right.
my gosh, no. I will. I'm gonna. Okay, let me call my sister. Let me call this. Let me do this. Let me do that. I will not call her first.
Yeah, so for me, the roles have
And like
changed.
then
Yeah.
for me to be the one, like, mom, I would call you.
Right.
You know I'm
That's
calling you.
that's
You call like,
rewarding.
I need you to come get me. I
Yeah.
need you this. I appreciate
No,
that
call them Mama
because
Dukes for sure.
and then
On the
you
dial.
trust that I will be
Yeah.
able to help you
And
in
you
that
know I
type of
got you.
circumstance.
Right.
Because I told him,
Because
like,
nothing is
listen,
not,
this
we
is a
can work
serious
everything
situation,
out.
sir.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that you're okay.
All times. And it's
Yeah,
nothing that you can
absolutely.
do that we can't work, figure it
Absolutely
out.
not. Absolutely
I
not.
don't give a damn. No
Yeah.
matter what it is, we
Yeah,
can figure it out.
absolutely not. Whatever it is, I want you to be able to trust me
Mm.
in that particular circumstance because life is happening and it happens fast. Like that
No.
situation, I said I wasn't even there 15 minutes.
No, Jen,
We
you
went from
won't.
food line
To get in
to
the ground.
parking in the
Yeah.
house to taking the stuff out, taking the stuff in, and I felt weird already in the from the get go.
So let me ask you this. Before I ask that, do you have moments where you feel uneasy now? That may have nothing, that does not have anything to do with that situation, but when you feel uneasy, how do you maneuver through? Like, does it give you flashbacks? Like, oh my gosh, this feeling feels familiar.
Oh my gosh. There is absolutely nothing like this situation.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's anything that I can compare
Right.
to this situation
Right.
happening. It was so like people was like, "Oh, did it hurt?" Like, "Oh my God, you got shot. Did it hurt?" Like it didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And shockingly, the hurt
And
was
I'm,
after that.
yeah, I'm glad it didn't hurt.
Yeah, finding out that.
Because then you probably would have reacted totally different,
Oh
would
yeah,
have
oh my
spooked Boogie out
gosh.
even more.
Absolutely. And that's why I said I was
To
calm,
remain
you was
calm,
calm
yeah.
because he was calm.
Yeah.
Like he came in and was like, "Hey, are you like, mom, you okay?" Like when he said it, he was so calm and he had not panicked.
Yeah.
Even with him thinking that I was bleeding anywhere, he had not. He trusted me enough to say that my mom got that under control type of situation.
Right.
He did not think that there was nothing
A
out of the
911
ordinary.
situation.
Oh, absolutely. I
Yeah.
did not think it was an emergency.
And that's the
at all.
first number kids know how to call. It's 911. 911.
He didn't get out of pocket.
Yeah.
It wasn't anything out of the
No,
ordinary.
even when he got back to the house, he was, like I said, not, I don't know if it was chips, but a snack and Dragon Tales. They was chilling. They was
It was just
chilling.
like, you know, and then like having a familiar face like helped
Yeah.
to bring everything down. But it was just like once he said that, then I'm like, okay, from because I already can't move my
Right.
legs now, I'm thinking it's with the legs. Something's going on.
Right.
Not once did I ever think that it had anything to do with a shooting.
Right.
That was
No,
just
that
like
would
far
never
from my
cross
mind.
anybody's mind. No, for real.
And so
Especially when you
when I
didn't hear
couldn't
anything.
when I couldn't move, and that's one of the things that I didn't really get into last time. I said my hair was in a banana clip, but I was literally laying in it, Dan, and I didn't even
Laying in what?
the
The
blood, but
blood.
I didn't
You
even know
realize.
how much of it was coming
Yeah.
out, what was really going on. But I said I had on a vest and
Yeah.
a tank top. So my arm was completely exposed. So it wasn't anything that was like soaking it up and
Yeah.
having it soaked in
Yeah.
clothes. It was just
No.
coming out.
Yes, Chan. Cause.
So I'm laying there,
Uh huh.
and then when I had to move, you know, I didn't recognize that I was in it. I just didn't. He said I was bleeding, and when you think,
Right.
just like if you fall and hit your leg or scrape your leg or something, you're not thinking you're
Mm-mm.
bleeding out.
Mm-mm.
I was thinking nothing to that type of extent. It was like, really? Like from where? And I'm
Right.
like, what's going on? It still was mild because I couldn't really feel anything. And I think just with the thing with my legs happening, it created even more of a shock to me that it was just like my mind was going, but when my breathing started to change, then it was like, okay, this is getting real. Like
Yeah.
whatever it is,
And you
breathing from
notice
somewhere,
that your
legs is
breathing
not
start to
working.
change.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
That makes sense though
yeah.
because you said the bullet ricocheted and it starts to affect your ribs and
My
your lungs.
lungs. Yeah,
Yeah.
lungs is how you breathe. And so now
Yeah.
it's like, you know what? So now I think at that point, you know, like I said, when they came in, I was starting to hemorrhage. So it was like, okay,
And that's
the blood is filling
crazy.
up in the lungs, and now it's
Yeah.
cutting off of how you breathe. So
Oxygen
they have to bring
supply.
in
Yeah,
that
oxygen
oxygen.
pump.
I really
Yeah.
now he's like, okay, now he's panicking.
Yeah.
And now it's like now I'm starting to really
Right.
lose it. Now I'm panicking. You know, whatever's going on with me, yeah, I'm probably hemorrhaging more at this point because
Right.
he's panicking and he
Mhm.
was so calm. Being so young, he's probably like, what's going on? But once they started touching me and he can tell that something's really
Right.
wrong with me, he wasn't sure at first.
Yeah.
Like, what you doing? And he's
You
like, you're
touching my
bleeding.
mom,
But
you
now,
doing all
yeah,
this.
here,
Yeah. And
now he's
I know that's a fire truck. I know that
right.
that's an ambulance.
Yeah.
I'm identifying these things.
Yeah,
So
now this
and
is
that
real.
means emergency.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And so now it's starting to get scary because it's like, okay, hold on now. Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And at this point, he had not been to like no daycare or anything. He was going to, his grandma was keeping him. So now it's just like, this is all new to him.
Yeah.
And I was so calm. But I think it really started to affect me just going into just after the fact. It was like, okay, if something happens, how do you deal with this? I couldn't pick him up. You can't do certain things. What do you do now? It was kind of, you were still in that vulnerable
Right.
state. And you're not really at a point where you can really help the both of y'all.
Right.
And that to me was scary.
No, I can
And
understand
then
that.
not knowing who
What?
and going through different stages of what everybody else is feeling, the trust factor really diminished big time.
I can
It's
understand.
no
I
joke. Yeah.
can understand that.
Yeah, the trust factor diminished. So now, like I said, it became one of those things where it's like, okay, I need to be able to step back from everything, sit towards
Still.
the. I would say now it's kind of like, you know, it's easier for me to note certain things. Like we have a conversation, I can note it. I don't really have to. There's no response needed.
Keywords.
Yeah,
Right.
note it. Yeah, and it's like okay, great. But I'm still one of those people where I really plan. I always have some type of plan. and some type of this going on in my mind. So if that's not fitting the narrative,
Right.
then it's gonna get X'd
Well, for
off. It's like,
sure.
okay,
We
great.
have
You know,
that
that's not
that
working.
commonality.
Okay, all
Yeah.
right, great.
Okay.
You know,
Right.
cool. And you
And I'm not trying to
understand.
change it.
Exactly.
I'm not trying to
Okay.
change your mind, babe.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep. And so it's like I do, having gone through that situation, do appreciate the fact that it helped me to grow up.
For
Like, and
sure.
it was like it
Plain
wasn't
and
that I was
simple.
immature,
Right.
because I wasn't. I
But
wasn't
life
an
is
immature
serious.
person, but that situation, it was kind of like, okay, like now you have to get serious.
Mhm.
Like, again, it may not be you. You
Mhm.
know, it may be whatever it is that you're contributing to,
Right. And
and
literally too close to home.
uh,
Like that phrase
yeah,
is really a thing. Like
yeah,
this is my safe space.
yeah,
You came to my home.
yeah.
You seen everything I
There
had
was no
coming
safe
on,
space after
and you
that.
still
So like what
continue
we
to
see going
proceed.
on in our
Yeah.
everyday, where people getting shot at, grocery store, and graduations and parades and all this and that, and you don't
Yeah.
feel safe anywhere. That's been going on for
Yeah.
14
Yeah.
years. Like, I haven't felt. What other place do you not feel safe other than your home? You think
No,
I
for
gotta go
real.
home? I need to go home. No, no, no. Like that, there is no.
Invaded your
Oh
privacy.
yeah, no.
Yeah.
Home is not.
Not what a
That's not
heart
a.
is.
That's not an end all
Right.
be all when you think that
Right.
that's a safe space, because it's
Right.
not.
Oh my goodness.
Anything can happen at any time,
Hmm.
and you have to be prepared for that.
Yeah.
That is just the realness of the situation. This is life
No,
that
that
we have
is
to live
true.
right now.
That is true.
Anything can happen at any time, and what are you gonna do? How are you gonna handle that situation? How is your family gonna handle it? How are you going to navigate that space? How do you grow from that? How do you, live in that type of
Mm.
environment? Those are the type of things that we have to deal with,
And
because
think
that
about,
creates
yeah,
trauma.
and think about too. Yeah, you're
Yeah,
absolutely correct.
yeah,
You're absolutely correct. Well, that for me, I would say kind of what speaking back to what you were saying, like having those financial blankets in place to
yeah.
make sure that your children are taken care
Oh my
of and
goodness. I was
all
so
that.
happy
Like,
with myself knowing
yes,
that I had that,
that is
because
beautiful.
it was like,
Because
you
a
know
lot of
what? If
people don't think
anything
that
happened to
way.
me,
No.
he would have been okay. So
Mhm.
I was like, okay, you know what? Even if this doesn't work,
Mhm.
and I'm not successful in this, he'll still be
Right.
fine. I was okay with that.
Right.
No problem at all. And that's sad.
Yeah.
You really to think like, but at the end of the day, that's the truth of the matter.
Mhm.
We don't get to choose. You don't
Mhm.
really have an option, and you don't have much control of them when you do,
Go.
leave.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day,
The day gotta end.
as long as my children are taken care
Mhm.
of, I can sleep well at night.
For sure.
I
And
really
that's
can.
always been my always gonna be
Yeah,
and been my prayer
yeah,
is just allow me. I think I pray for myself and my kids and my family as a whole. I said that to myself honestly today. I was waiting in the parking lot for my son Nikhil to finish up his basketball training. And I was just praying over him because I know that he was in his head today
yeah.
because we've been on vacation. So he ain't been hustling and grinding like he normally
He was
would.
execution
Yeah,
day. So
right,
he's like,
right.
hold on now.
So he was in
Now the
his
problem you
head a
put in
lot.
that work,
Yes,
he's
he
like,
was like,
whoa.
"Mom, no disrespect, but can we just drive silent today?" And that was different because he never asks for that. So I knew, and two
He was trying
men,
to get in,
that
get
they, yeah,
focused.
that he was in his head. So we prayed together. Then I prayed by myself, and then I dropped him off. And normally I leave and go like to Starbucks and just run a little small little errands in between. But I sat in the parking lot today, which was different from our normal routine, and I just covered him. I just covered him and just cover him and cover him. And then when I went in, like 15, 20 minutes before his training was ending, his energy was just so upbeat and just so good. I
Oh,
was like, I just love that for you now. He's like, no, I'm tired. Let's go. I'm like, oh, okay, well, nevertheless, I'm happy that you was in that
yeah.
space to be moving on and here today. So, do you feel like being shot changed how you date?
Hmm, That is a serious one right there.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I think that because who I was dating at the time, um, they didn't really have a relationship with my family.
Okay.
And so, like, when this actually happened,
Do you feel like
they
that
were kind
matters?
of like cut off. Like, they didn't, although his family, his mom, his sisters, them, like sent cards and different things to me,
Okay,
which I
that was
didn't find
sweet.
out until like way
Way.
after the
Okay,
fact.
that was very sweet.
But he didn't have any like communication, like they could cut my phone, like just cut it off so nobody could call, Facebook and those sort of things or whatever. And so it because it was them trying to figure out who, you know what I mean? Could
The
have been
process
this
of living a
person,
nation.
could have been
Right.
who's there, could have been him, could have been someone else, what was really going on. So it was a hard thing to really deal with. I definitely think that again, this goes back to the trust. I think that it really changed my view of what I think about people, what you do. But I think I've always been one of those people that give others the benefit of the doubt because we're all
Today,
imperfect
still to this day.
to a degree.
Okay.
Like, we're all imperfect. We all have different things about us that's, you know, somebody can say, oh, well, I like this, but I don't like this, or whatever the case may be. However, um, the standards have changed for sure.
Good
I
for you.
think that, I back then, I was so secure in who I was and what I was doing. And even just being young, I really didn't care about what you had going on.
Right.
Long as I was good with me and what I had going on, I really didn't care what you kind of brought to the table type of thing because I was good. Whatever you bought was like plus,
Or
And now,
additive.
yeah. And now, I got to the point where I'm like, you know what, you want a husband and you want somebody that's doing this and that. They have to have a certain demeanor about them.
For
They need
sure.
to have a certain, stature. They need to be doing certain things. Spiritual too has to be a
For
part of it.
sure.
Before back then, spiritual wasn't a part of it. You just was caring about what they look like, finances, and so forth and so on.
Right.
And now it's like there's so much more to that.
Right.
There's
Than what
more
meets the eye.
right. There's more maturity to that.
Right.
Like you have your relationship in God.
And
You
it's
really
just
like
not me
oh,
either.
yeah.
I got
my kids, yeah.
on the back.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah. So it was like it took me through a wave because I still was going through this battle of, you know, navigating the negative with the positive feelings that I was going through. Like I can remember having a panic attack one time, and oh my gosh, when I say I thought I was going to die. Like that's how big of a panic attack this was. I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm sitting here, like nobody's here, anything could happen, coming up the stairs or whatever. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I can remember talking to John. I'm like, he talked to me for hours that night.
You're such a
We
good
just kinda
brother.
like
Such a good brother.
I love him. I really do. And we have a really close relationship.
Yes,
Everybody that knows
always
our
have.
story.
Yeah.
Like even when I told him, y'all, when I told him I talked to him earlier today, when I told him I was doing this podcast, if y'all could have seen this man cheeks
Right.
and that bright face
Right.
just lit up, and he like for real. Podcast. I'm like, man,
Period.
it's like, and I'm like, I ain't been able to talk to him.
Right.
And he just grinning from ear to ear. Like he loves to hear that. That's why I said being able to talk to him is kind of like, because we always been clicked.
Our girlfriend's releasing. Yes.
Like, oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
It's a good workout.
He just like, oh my gosh, feels like you at it again. Like he just know that, the things that I'm into is always gonna be some type of positive action. I love being around positive people doing positive things.
Fire and desire. I love that.
No, literally.
Fire and
But
desire.
y'all could have seen him, y'all, like when even just getting ready for this, like Danielle always got the energy, but when I talked to this boy on the phone and was able to finally tell him, he was like, "What you ready to do?" And I was like, "Well, I gotta go get ready because yeah, I gotta record
super fine
podcast." He's like, "Podcast, no podcast." So I'm telling him, he's like, "Oh my gosh, that's crazy." And y'all seen his face? He was so
I love that.
happy.
I
I'm
love
like, I ain't
that.
got to tell you about that. Okay. And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna talk to you later. And he was like, when he told me he loved me, I'm just like, just having him, just be able to talk to him and have a part of it. got said, even just that day. I
Yeah.
swear I could hear him calling my name.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter to this day being able to, if I say something about him, like if he could call at this hour, he'd be ringing my phone.
And that's beautiful. I said alignment. No, for real. That's your soulmate. That's your soulmate. No, for real.
And just him coming, like he gonna be home hopefully before next May, but right now it's May of 2026. So I'm definitely anticipating that, and I cannot wait till he come. But just good energy, like he's always been fun. You know, just being able to keep me upbeat and
lively.
So when those type of things is going on, being able to talk to him, when I was at that in that space and going through all these things mentally,
he kept you going,
spiritually, and just emotionally, physically, even he would drop by and spend his day, with me.
Yeah, and that matters.
See what's going, just kicking me like
yeah,
friends, not just like
sibling, right?
My brother, he come to check on me, but like we're friends.
Y'all like each other for real. Like you just not my mama's son. I like you. Yes.
Hang and just going through.
I love that.
Being on the phone with me for hours at night, just trying to make sure that I'm okay, and those type of things for me goes a long
No,
way.
for sure.
Like, those are the things that I count above all the rest.
So what would you say your love language is?
For me?
Yeah. Okay. What is your love language?
It's the little things for me.
What Elevate says, the little
things, because I'm one of those people when you say things to me, like say you need something, or something going on, I don't need to wait in order to do it. Like I know that's something that's
like need for me to say, hey, I need X, Y, and Z initiative. Like right.
You talk
right.
Make the initiative to get it done. And I like people that do the same. Because they're full. Match
my energy.
They want to do. You have to want to. What did Jesus say? Though the Samaritan lady.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
No, the guy when he healed him, the leper.
Okay.
I want to. You have to have people around who want to do. And I think that's the
thing.
That's why
that's the thing. That's the thing. You want to.
So they to do. They want to be that person.
Yeah.
They want to give. They want to love you.
Yes.
They share. They want to care. And those are the people that
I don't want to have to teach you how to be my person.
No.
Be my friend. Be whatever we are to one another.
Until that you want them to do it to you.
Yes.
If you want you want someone to do that to you, absolutely. You want somebody that cares without you having to give them a whole test behind that. Yeah, you do. You want people that's going to pay attention. You want someone who knows what you need. And not because you're a mind reader.
Right.
But because
I think that's a cop out.
Come on.
Like to say, I'm not a mind reader. Like, what?
But you're listening.
Right.
Just like if you listen to this conversation now, I know how to help you. I know how to be there. I know how to help
for sure.
you.
Yes.
Feel the
right.
Make sure that you feel loved and
in my face.
Right. That's how we love
right. Yes. And
I mean, just seriously. So we're devastated by this concert.
Right, Vito.
Him and Friday, because something's not right there. We just need.
I'm really hurt. I am really hurt about that. Like I'm not even acting. I am really sad about that. I've been looking forward to this. Literally, I bought tickets March.
Oh my goodness, man.
And babe, they hit me up. I'm asleep peacefully. Okay, my dad. And I'll check my phone. I get a Gmail, an email notification.
When I say
I instantly screenshot and sent to you. I'm like, oh my god, be sad with me.
And I was lost in the sauce.
Oh my
I just knew it was about this second mic.
No, baby.
Like, oh man, the order got canceled. I did not know it was about these tickets. Girl. I'm hurt now.
Like for real.
I got my nails redone, y'all.
Fine.
Got my nails redone.
And he ain't coming.
Got a new dress, y'all. I'm not even gonna show y'all the dress because I'm so devastated. I was so prepared. Look, I was gonna pin curl my hair up like Marilyn Monroe, just pin curl it so we can have it curled.
Be cute. Be
Something
cute.
I never do. You
Be
know what I mean?
cute. Be cute.
You know, just to be out and
Grown,
enjoy life,
grown,
and
and
because I
sexy and
don't go out
soft.
much, so I
Me
was
either. I
like,
was looking. That's why I was looking forward to it even
yeah,
more. Cause I'm like, I don't. It's Monday night, you know.
yeah,
Whatever.
absolutely.
We're gonna have to fix that. Cause
We
something,
yeah.
something gonna have to give. Cause your girl is sad. So what season are you in now?
I would say that just with business because when we were saying we want to be talking about entrepreneurship. So
Mm-hmm.
everybody knows, like for those who don't know, like I have my own business. And so my business is Chandra and Associates.
Mm-hmm.
And I help with financial services, so retirement planning, wealth building, legacy creation, estate planning. I want everybody to win. And at the end of the day, because I've been through enough things in my life to know that it could be going today, here today, gone
For
tomorrow.
sure.
And if you're not serious about it. If you think that you still got the time, you're sadly mistaken. If
Mm-hmm.
you're not taking advantage of your relationships and your resources, then you are behind the eight ball.
Right.
Do not get mistaken thinking that you still got time.
No, that's a
Thinking
poor way of
that
thinking.
thinking that oh
Yeah.
I'll do it tomorrow. You keep putting things off. I've never been a procrastinator.
Mm-mm.
That's another thing.
Mm-mm.
Like when I want to do something, I'm gonna do it. Like if I
Mm-hmm.
say I'm gonna do it, best believe it's gonna get done.
No, for sure.
Because I wanted to do this
Yeah,
business.
and me
And I'm
too.
like trying to grapple with who I'm gonna do it with, how I'm gonna do it, when we're gonna do it. And once we had a conversation and I
Girl,
you
they closed the restaurant down. Like, we gotta go. We gotta go. We gotta go.
we would have done it that same night
No,
if we
and
had the time.
that was a piping hot conversation.
If we had the time, we would
Yes.
have done it that same night. And so, like, I just saying to be serious about your future, be
Mhm.
serious about your family and
And
about
who
your
you got
life.
around? Who you
Oh
got
my
around
goodness,
you?
yes.
Who you
And
got
about your
around you?
goals
Yeah.
too. Like I'm so serious about my goals. Like you were
No, for
saying,
real.
when you want to do something, you're like, you know what? I'm gonna just go ahead and get this done.
Right.
You know how your steps and different things you need to do, whether it's a one step, a
Right.
two step, a three
Oh,
step.
yes. Yes.
You're
Yes.
making those type of adjustments, and so I have to appreciate having that type of mind. And I don't know for sure if it really have stemmed from this because I think
Mhm.
I've always been that. I think
I think you have to.
this situation really has taught me, you know what, um, to just be smart, be
Mhm.
more strategic.
Mhm.
If
And
I
be
wasn't,
selfish with you. Would you say that? Because I know I'm
and
super
that's
selfish with
hard
me.
for me.
It's like what to be selfish?
To be selfish, it's
Oh,
hard for me.
babe,
It's
I
getting
think it's
easier as the
ridiculous for
time
me.
goes on, but
Mhm.
that has been hard for me. And just because I feel like I don't want to be labeled as selfish. I'm more of a
Okay.
selfless type of person. You're self-sacrificing. You're giving. You're this and you're that. But however, it has to be a method
No, for real.
regardless. You know what I
For
mean?
real. Cause you don't get to drain me because you done took so much from me. I done poured so much into you that
Yeah.
I'm just fatigued. I'm just irritated. I'm just
Yeah.
can't function, like skin looking crazy, like all of the above. So I would say yes, I feel like this situation as well had me way more selfish with myself
Yeah.
because I'm more conscious of what, when, who, where, why,
Yeah.
and all the things.
Yeah.
So I would definitely say for me, I've always been a little bit of my daddy instilled that into me, but as I became older and I now have a daughter,
Yeah.
it definitely had made me to just be mold her. All the things I didn't get right, she will.
Yeah.
All the things that I did not learn early, no one told me, she will. So I'm thankful for the part two of me because my girl is a force to be reckoned with, and I just love her. I love her. I love her. She's so bold. I was like, Jesus, you're your grandmother's child. Like, wow. She's a lot.
Cause Zoe is something else. And like that's so funny that you have one girl and I have one girl.
Yes.
And
And
to
two
think
boys.
like Zoe, oh my gosh, man. I was like, oh my gosh, you finally got your girl. Like, see, that's don't stop speaking stuff. into existence. You know what I mean? And I said that too many times. Like, God, if I just had one girl, you know what I mean? Have all the boys. And now here she is.
She what you needed.
Almost
She's what you
5 years
needed. She's
later.
what you needed for
Oh my
sure.
goodness, she
She's what
is
you
something
needed.
else. When I say something else, I
She's what
mean
you needed.
something. She
Yes.
is
A
serious.
big
She like,
personality.
oh my goodness.
Yes, a big personality.
She is a
Yes,
force to be
I love
reckoned with,
that. I love
okay?
that. I love that our girls and young ladies in general don't quiet down. Be loud. Be bold. Be exactly
Yeah,
who
be
you were
bold.
created to be. Because a lot of young women are quiet because they want to fit in.
Oh my gosh, Dan.
That
What?
want to fit in, and that's how you lose who sight of who you are because
Can I
you're not
just
even
say that
exploring
that's
it.
never. Do you feel like that's ever who you were?
No, I can't shut up
Gosh,
to
no.
save my life.
I've never been that. And I think that's sometimes I struggle. When we talk about relationships,
Right.
I've struggled in that because it's like,
I feel like I have been better at communicating of what it is, like finding a better dialogue to communicate and use better choice words and better language to say what it is that I need to say as I become
yeah.
older. But quiet, nah, I ain't never been that.
No, I think that's why we have a podcast because I'm a chatterbox.
We got something to say.
Yeah, no, seriously.
No.
But it's like that is absolutely correct. It's like no, 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 no. At the end of the day, I know who I am,
No, for sure.
and regardless of
It's
what the
still
things that
learning
has,
me. Yeah.
oh yeah,
Still
the things
learning
that
me.
has taken place, the things that has happened to me, and whatever the case may be, those things have built on top of the foundation. Like God has literally never let me go. So it was like, you know what, girl, this is not. When they say all things work together, that is a fact.
Right. And I'm
All
glad
things
that you're
work
not
together.
weird. You know how it be like certain things make you like weird, you know? Not even trying to be funny, not even trying to be funny, but for real, you know how certain things just make you like super like but you're still you. Like and you're still you. You still got the same sense of humor, like
And you know, because I
all
felt
the
like, you know,
things.
like I was saying,
Right.
the old me, literally, I felt like the old me died in
Yeah,
that
I
very
can
moment.
imagine
It was
that.
like,
If
you know
yeah,
what?
yeah.
Who I was at that moment is not the same
Mm-hmm.
thing. Because it's like, now for those in whom I loved and trusted
Right.
already held a space. But
Right.
anybody outside of that,
Right. Was a
oh
no
no, no,
go.
no, no, no,
Right. No, for I can understand
no.
that.
Hold on there.
Yeah, I can understand that.
It was a like it was a
Yeah.
and if anything started happening that was weird,
Mm,
it really then it was like, you know what? It was easy for me to say,
I'm good.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was
I'm
easy.
good.
Really easy. It
Mm-hmm.
was so easy for me to step outside of it and be like, you know what, I don't need this. Nope, I'm done. Like I didn't have tolerance. My
No.
tolerance level was so low.
Yeah, mine's
It
just
was super low. It went from
it depends on
like,
what I'm
okay, I'm trying to
tolerating.
figure it
Yeah.
out to my
Right.
tolerance level going to straight zero.
Right. Right.
Like until
Yeah. Right.
I would say after Princeton was born, which was 2016. After Princeton was born, then I really was like, you know what, God, I really need you to help
Have your
me
way.
to
Yeah.
reevaluate, you know, me and what I'm doing. And I've been wrong so many times. I just want to be right.
No, for
Like
real.
I
I done
really,
tried it my way.
yeah.
I done tried it my
Yeah.
way.
And I know I didn't. All these things have
No.
happened, and this is going on. But I need you to take a hold of me, and you gotta
Right.
like get me
For
to the,
real.
to the other
That's
side, and
real.
that's what we gotta do.
That's real.
Sometimes free will isn't that great.
Yeah.
Like to have free will and to be able to make your own decisions.
No.
Like all the kids who swear, like, oh, I can't wait till I grow up. I want to be grown, and I want to do this, and I want to do that. Like it's not that fun.
No.
Like
I'm
there's
trying to
things
tell
that we
you.
get to do. However, it comes with a lot of responsibility. So let's just remember: to much is given, much is required.
Yep.
And that is something that I've preached to my oldest son from the time he can read. He's a great reader. He's aced English since the time he even started school. To much is given, much is required. If you want all of that, if you want to do all of that, there are a lot is required of you. You have to do a lot to obtain that.
Right.
So do not think that, it's just gonna fall into your lap and it doesn't come with sacrifice and change because it does. And so in the dynamics of growing in my life and just relationship and motherhood and all these different things, where this one thing, it was like, you know what, I think the one thing that really I was trying to get away from was the pain of it all.
Yeah.
You know, waking up and your back hurts.
Yeah.
And
Because that affects your day to day.
scared of having
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, if they had to give me an epidural, like it's gonna affect my
Oh
spine.
my goodness, Chandra, I didn't even think of that.
You know, like it was like, or you know, going through this, it could have been my son. If something else happened, how am I going to protect two? You know, it was all these different things going in my mind. I'm like, gosh, I got out of this one situation, but what about another?
Right.
You know, it was just like, okay, who do you trust? And that was another thing too. It's one thing when you just trust you,
Right.
or you trust your human ability,
Right.
or someone else's human and imperfect ability.
Right.
But when you start trusting God's ability,
Right.
when you talk about someone who's limitless, who's abundant and can do all things,
Right.
then that's different.
Right.
And so I have gotten to the point in life where I'm like, you know what, I have to stop trying to be the driver. I can't take us everywhere that we need to go, and I have to trust God to get us where we need to be. And life has been so much greater than that. Then my trust factor starts to really widen out. You know what? Like, okay, I can be a little more forgiving in this.
Yeah.
Because, again, it says forgive free because God
Right.
forgives you.
Right.
So then this allows me to have a little more grace for people, because I got to the point where I'm like, I don't owe you none of that. I don't need to give you that. I don't owe you that. I've been through enough. I don't care about this. I don't care about that.
Right.
And it was like, you know what? Hold on a second.
Right.
Just hold on a second and let God deal with it.
Right.
Because there was a pit of vengeance and anger and sadness and emotional turmoil.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what? I just don't want to deal with you or with this or with that in order to get myself to the next stage, because that's when it was hard, where you're like drinking and you're doing all these other things to try to cope, and it's not helping you at all. Absolutely not helping you at all.
So what is your way of coping now?
Ooh.
If you have to cope at all.
Oh yeah, there's always going to be a coping. It's still just me and God. I have learned that is just literally
That is it.
So
Yeah.
when you guys don't see me on social, I have so many friends who be like, "Where you been?" or "What's going on?" When you guys feel like, oh, you're reaching out or whatever the case may be, and I'm not answering, that's where I'm in my quiet time, my quiet space, in my isolation, and kind of like in the wilderness. And God, like, you know what? I need you to help me to figure this out and help me to understand me at the very least in this space. And what do I do? How do I do? When do I act? Do I act at all? Do I just wait on you to act?
That's good.
And sometimes that gets hard, really, because you really don't know. And if you're not looking, when it says keep seeking, keep knocking, keep asking, and God gives in abundance. But if you're not listening and acting and searching for that, then you won't understand the response.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, because the devil's busy.
No, yes.
He's knocking on your door at the same time.
Yes.
Yeah, he gonna knock at the same time. And we bring it back to just Job.
And
like,
he might even entice you along the way too. Yeah. Not even a might. He will.
Yeah, absolutely.
Entice you too.
He's knocking on your door at the same time. Yeah, he is wondering to see how you're gonna react, how you're gonna do this. You know, like I said, it's the 1%, the 2%. He doesn't care.
No.
And so it's like when you're going through things, it could be hard. But that's the beauty of it. And I have to really love the friends that I have in my life, that I have grown with, and has God has given me the support system, because it's like I may not talk to them every day. We may not talk every month. We may not talk, throughout everything.
A low maintenance.
Yeah. Oh yeah. One of my other friends just said that, like, I love my low maintenance friends.
No, seriously.
Because, like, we get each other.
Right.
Like,
oh my gosh. Please.
I'm good. I'm not mad when you call me. I'm not mad if you miss my call and don't answer. I understand what's going on.
Right, and vice versa. Yes.
Yeah.
Especially got juggling multiple children, like.
Yeah, and even just your family balance.
Yes.
You have your dad.
Yeah.
You have, mom and your kids, and some people are still going to college, trying to pursue degrees.
Yeah, shout out to them.
Entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Because I need one of these cameras
Yeah.
that you can make.
It's coming, babe.
Like,
It's coming.
Okay?
It's coming. I'm so excited.
Yeah, like even just like what I do, like there's a lot of things that goes into the business, and so it's like it's so much, and I just having kids in multiple different like age groups.
Yes, you have to
those
accommodate them all. And it may not be physically exhausting, but mentally.
Seriously,
Everybody has different personalities. They got different needs, different communication styles. I can yell at you. I can't yell at you. I can talk to you. So I can tell you one time and I got to tell you 50 times and take something away from you for you to get it. So yes, it is definitely a toggle to parent, and then it's also appreciative to have low maintenance friendships and relationships in general that you can just
make the right decision.
Yes, girl, I just want to be the best. I just want to be the best at anything I do.
Like, let's just be honest. How many of you guys want to be the best? Like, I think for the majority of us, we might probably all have, a larger female audience in this regard.
Right.
However, for those that we do know, like I know a lot of males that I've been very close with over the years, and Danielle knows them as well. And it's like we've all grown up in this different space. A lot of them have been a part of this journey that we're talking about here. But at the same time, it's like that all kind of shaped. And those are some of the ones that we wanted to have included as guests. That has all really shaped us all different. At those times, these people didn't have kids. They were in college, and however, me and Danny had kids. Right. And so, like, going through the things that we've been going through in just life in general, right now, so I'm about to be 35 in July, so next month. And then you're going to be how old in October?
33.
33 in October. So just in that in general, and then both of our oldest sons are now, so Davion's going to be 17. My oldest son, Anil, aka Boogie, he's 17 already, and since March. So like they're both growing up. Our oldest are going to be literally
No, serious, and that too. That's a season too to be raising young adults, and I'm a young adult myself. So right, to be raising young adults and navigating this space, that is not talked about enough. It's not.
Glad that he is maturing
No,
in
for
life.
real.
Like that
I'm
makes
thankful.
me
I'm
excited as a
thankful.
parent because he's gonna be a man.
I don't think I'm
And
ready
he's
for
like,
that.
he's gonna be a man, and he's
I just love them.
it's here. And then say that you're not ready, but it's here. Like you don't have a choice.
And no, I don't.
Anyway,
I've been preparing myself for that a little bit better. Like he's talking about going to school in Louisiana State. I'm like, boy, you listen there going to LSU. I'm like, you understand this little East Coast, baby,
oh
but
my God.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm confident though in who I raised. I am. I am. I am 100%. I am. Like you said, God forbid if I was to go today, tomorrow, next
He
week,
can tell you from an outside perspective.
I'm 100% sure.
Talk and how he does things when you're not presently there in the flesh. He's operating in a space where there's a level of maturity. Like he may do immature things as a kid,
and I expect that.
Right.
I want to see. I want to see that. Let me know that we still here.
Right. Yeah.
You ain't above the program.
Right. That you still
Right.
here.
Yeah.
Like you're
Yeah.
still,
You ain't above the program,
because
babe.
it's hard.
No.
I seen a post, y'all, that was like for those who have sons or daughters. But I know a lot of people that have sons, and it's like, when you don't get to say goodbye to that person. Like they were this person at this age, and then they turn into this person, and then this person, this person, this person, and it's like they were somebody different.
No, every time, just like us, just like us, just like us, just like us, and we change, no, like a mustache and beards connecting and little biceps poking out at me. Yes.
And he has a little.
Yes, I seen it. I seen it. I seen
John
it.
didn't have none of that.
I
That's not a
seen
thing
it.
I'm saying because he's gonna see this one day. He didn't have a mustache or a beard or none of that. At 16, 17 years old. Took him a little minute. You know what I mean? Even his dad. When we were dating, he didn't have none of that. He was naked face. So for Boogie to have, I'm like, oh my. And every time somebody hears him, they're like, "Who is that in your background?"
That's how when I
John
see
is
him,
on the phone with me. He's like, "Who is that talking?" In your
all I
background?"
could
Like,
do
it's
was
a
hug
man.
him because I'm just
I'm
like,
at you.
I just remember
Like,
this
it's funny.
kid
He's
holding
like,
these
"Oh,
toys.
what?
Oh
He's
my
like,
God.
man.
Yes,
I'm
he
like,
do. He do. He do. That's how when I see him and he was holding these toys. I remember Boogie bow-legged holding his little toy, and to just see him. No, and when I know he can. When I see him, all I can do is just hug him, cause oh my God, like literally, Boogie, literally. Like I'm just thinking about pajamas, Ninja Turtle, like all the things. Like, oh my God, he's a man.
Look at the confidence.
Tall.
Watching him, watching this man didn't care nothing but cereal, y'all. As you know,
You said he wanted cereal that night for dinner.
That was his favorite food. Yeah. He wanted cereal. If he could have cereal, barbecue chips, some little puffy corn, the little cheese ones.
That was his drop.
And Ghost Riders. Oh, he was good.
Oh, that was his drop.
Was good. He was in some little cars or little toys.
Yes, he loved his toys, girl. Oh my
He
God.
used to leave school, come to my house, and be watching Boogie.
That's love.
And Boogie get his little cereal.
That's love.
When Boogie learned how to make cereal by himself.
Oh, he don't need you for nothing. Everybody came to see you, Otis.
he thought oh my God, he used to brag to me like, at least I can make my own cereal. I'm like, sir, you know what, you need to stop.
Bless them, bless them.
Goodness.
I love them. I love them. Yes. Shout out to us for being amazing moms.
We eat cereal, do you know?
Sick of it.
Like chicken wings.
Okay, here, man. Now, yeah, that's why I said when I'm ready to pull up, I'm sending a man some wings at the bar. And I don't drink. To that lemon pepper rib.
She does some lemon.
Yes, all flat. Fried hard. Send it to that gentleman down there at the bar. I love that. I love that. So now, would you say that you're able to easily distinguish? Well, I guess you kind of talked about distinguish red flags, green flags and red flags a little bit better.
I think just in terms of being out in a scenario or a lifestyle, I have learned how to. It's really been low.
Right.
No. I mean, since then, there is no hanging out like
Right.
at my house. There is no, a lot of friends here or there.
No patterns of behavior. Right. Unhealthy patterns of behavior.
You go visit this person and then you go back home.
Right.
Like, it's because like once your home becomes an unsafe place, it really puts things into perspective.
No,
like,
for
how
sure,
do
because
you
that shouldn't be a
navigate
thing.
Yeah.
Your home should be, or I know for me, my home is
So
my favorite place.
Come back
Yeah.
home. And it really has been more of a focus on development.
No,
whether
honestly.
it's personal,
Yeah.
business, or family, like with the kids.
Mhm.
I have, really shut all the other things.
Right.
Have
That,
to
yeah.
fall into place.
Like
And
you said,
everything else compartmentalize.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that.
And sometimes it can be a good thing and sometimes it can be a bad thing. Like I was talking to Ken the other day and I was basically, like all these, even just like with my dad getting locked up right after and John getting locked up, it was kind of like, okay, when does the nightmare end?
Right.
Like it's just gonna be stacked on like one thing after the other. And it was like, so like now we're kind of really now stuck back into that part of the story.
Right.
And trying to get out of that. But it was like, okay, how do I deal with this? Knowing that now it really became one of those things where it's just it was kind of like waiting for him to call, or writing John a letter to try to get my thoughts out of what was going on. It wasn't as easy as him being on the street and being able
conveniently speak with him. Yeah.
Just, spend a day with you, being able to call or something like that. Now you have to wait for him to call. You can't call him.
Right.
Or if you tell him what's going on, then you have to wait for the next time he to call. You got to write him. Like it just became more and more difficult. And again, it brought back to like the childhood of my dad being incarcerated. Like, okay, you know what? This situation could be gone today tomorrow. You can't depend on this to be your safe space and your way of navigating and dealing with things. And so you get to the point of like, you know what? How do I deal with this by myself? What do you do? And that's why I said it's just been me and God. But at the end of the day, I know He ain't going nowhere.
Nowhere. And always there.
Yeah. He
And
not going
always
nowhere.
there.
He's
That's
not
good,
going here.
Chan.
He's not, I can pick up the line and dial his number any time of the day.
Toll free.
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's 2 a.m., 4
Mm-hmm.
a.m.s, 8 a.m.,
Mm-hmm.
11 p.m., 12 a, 12
Mm-hmm.
a.m., whatever the case may be, doesn't matter what's going on, the time, the place. I can dial his number and he's
He
gonna
gonna
answer.
answer. Yep.
And
Love that.
yeah,
Love that. That
yeah.
is true. That is true.
I'm trying to teach my kids that because
Mm-hmm.
you come to learn that no matter where you are in life, us as humans, we go through things, we change.
Right.
Things may change, but God is not a
Right.
changeable. He does not change. He's
Mm-mm.
very constant
Mm-hmm.
and he's very intentional. When
Right.
we say, God does things in a mysterious way. God's not mysterious at
Mm.
all.
Right.
He's very
Right.
intentional
Right.
about what he does, and he's very methodical. He knows
Mm-hmm.
what he's doing. He has a
Right.
plan,
It's not
a
a
plan.
surprise to
Yeah, no,
him.
he has a
Right.
plan. And so
Right.
it's like you just understanding that and trying to really teach my kids that. I really wish I had learned, a better
Mm-hmm.
way of learning who God
Mm-hmm.
was at a younger age. It would have really helped me navigate these
Yeah.
spaces a whole lot
Yeah.
better when they did come about. But I haven't appreciate having him find me where I was.
Yeah.
And
And the
now
oh yes. That is a word in itself to find you where you are because he will.
And
He
now
will.
being able to
Mm.
talk to the kids and really get them to understand, I have told, time and time again, even the younger boys, because it's always not really understanding, but
Mm-hmm.
to be able to really take that in, like, you know what, just now, when you're going through a circumstance and this is not happening or you're frustrated by this is who
How?
you can
Yeah.
call.
Yeah.
And you lay that all out on the line and he's going to help you to figure it out
Yeah.
because you all by yourself is going to it just gets harder for you to figure things
No,
out.
for
And as you
sure.
get older, it makes less and less sense because you
Mm-hmm.
have more and more
Yeah.
responsibility. And so having to really navigate that space and being able to take it literally one day at a
No,
time.
for real.
It is one day at a
Yeah.
time. People say that it's almost like it's something,
Right.
people
Something
will
to
say when
say.
you don't have nothing else to
Right.
say.
But
But
it's
it's
the
literally,
honest truth.
yeah,
No, for
yeah,
real.
it is.
It is.
One day at a
Yeah.
time. Yeah,
I can say
absolutely.
the same for me with my
As
kids.
any child,
Yeah.
to be
With my
honest.
kids, I feel like me being their best coach in a sense when
Oh
I
yeah.
say that to just because just like me saying pick this up, get your book bag up, I can say it over and over and over, but if I come home and lay my pocketbook down on the couch, then it's okay for them to do. So for me, I try to practice the habits that I want them to pick up, like looking back, because now as a 32-year-old woman, I ain't want trying to hear none of that moment them daddy used to say. But now looking back, I remember what it is that they used to say, and I be like, "Dang, you was right. You was right. You was
No, you are
100%.
absolutely
You're a
right about
hundred
that.
percent right." So by
Goodness
me
gracious.
just speaking
I got
to
a
my
funny
kids,
ass.
yes, no, for real,
Like, no,
that's the
seriously.
thing.
Did I do this to you?
Yes,
Was I like this? I'm like,
yeah,
I'm so sorry. When I got just hug
all the
her
time.
and just like, oh, honey. Woo.
All the time. Well,
I
my
don't
mom
know how
always
you
used to
did
say,
it.
yeah, that
I
I
really
was
don't.
the family manager, but I always thought I knew everything. I always thought like I was ahead of the ball. Like, you don't
Oh,
know
yeah.
how it is out here. Like, no, no, no. And I'm wrong, wrong, wrong. I'm learning that as I become older, and
Yeah.
I look back and I be like, oh my gosh, Dad, you was so right. You was so right, Mom. And same with
Yeah.
my kids,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Like, I can say this all day long, but it's gonna have to take for them to grow, just like I
Yeah.
had to grow for them. Be like, I
Sometimes
remember,
life experience is
yeah,
the best
I
experience.
remember we
And
used to
we don't
pray.
want that for
She in her
another
word,
experience.
yeah. So I know this mama used to do, and now she come in the room talking about some a check that came in the mail. She got this random deposit because she said it came from God. Let me go see. Let me go see, because there's really no explanation I can give you as to whatever it is that I needed. I can't tell you how I got this.
I said, listen, sir, let me tell you something. You can sit in here and you have shared tears with me. You have hugged me when you have seen me at our
No,
lowest
for
of low.
real.
And when you see how God has blessed us, this is an answer to a
No,
prayer.
for real.
When I say God is really listening, that is serious.
That is serious.
That is not a play.
Yeah.
Like, how do you? I mean, to think that we if we took him out of the equation, then how do you
I
explain
don't
it
want
all?
to even think of that.
How do you
No.
explain it all?
No. No.
How do you explain this? And how do you
Even
explain
looking
that? You
back
just can't.
from us being younger, right? It's so many situations that I've done been in or we done been in that it's like,
Clubs
girl,
and things that has taken place.
ain't
Have
no
a nice
way.
day.
Girl,
And
I'm
all that.
thankful.
Oh,
I am thankful. I am thankful. And I be having flashbacks
yeah.
about situations like that. Do you have flashbacks?
Yeah.
Often? Often?
Oh my gosh. If we sit and talk about the circum, like if it comes up, I think if I'm reminded or I'm
Right.
situation is very similar,
Right.
then it's like, oh my, it feels like deja vu.
Right.
When you
Oh,
go
yeah.
through a certain situation, like, oh my goodness, this is very similar to what happened in this time or what happened at that time, which is why I work so hard to make sure that I'm living a life that is nothing
That's
close
good.
to
Yeah.
the sort, because I don't want to experience those
No.
things again.
No.
It's like when I did experience these things, like what came with that,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and that's not something that I want to carry
Right.
anymore through life. And not only that, but it because my kids are very aware.
Right.
Like then, our kids are very young and
No,
they didn't
for
know, and
real.
we have the pleasure of them not taking those things into their
Right.
life with them today. And
Mm-hmm.
so, because I can remember a time, like I was saying, that well, Boogie would say something
Mm-hmm.
about it, and you knew that he knew. And
Right.
that used to hurt me.
Yeah.
Because like that's not something
I
I
want
can
to
take
erase
away
that
from
from
him.
you. Right.
Yeah. And for him not to know, oh, that right there is
It's
like, oh
enough.
God,
It's enough.
has taken that type
It's
of memory
enough.
and that he's not recalling that to mind. I really appreciate that because it was not something that I can do in any
Right.
moment to help him in that type of
No.
circumstance. And now that time has passed and it's been allowed for him to really grow, and without that being a burden for him, I appreciate that.
I
I
appreciate
really
that
do.
too. I appreciate that for the
Yeah,
both
and
of
being
you.
able to teach him outside of that.
No, for
Like,
real.
you know, when you come across circumstances, not just because I have a stickler, not just in a spiritual way, but physically.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want them playing certain video games and doing certain things. And
Putting that in your
oh
spirit.
no,
Yeah.
that's not, we're not ever gonna
No.
do that because I don't want us to feel comfortable in
No.
that type of space or
Right.
have to handle a certain
And that's
situation.
training your mind in a sense
Yeah.
too. Yeah. What's entertaining you is training you.
Oh yeah.
So
I mean, your
yeah.
mind's out.
Yeah.
Because when you see it and you hear, you can't erase that.
Mm-mm.
And so, really teaching that, and I have to appreciate God really helping me to navigate that space
Yeah.
because
Having the tools.
you know, at some point, you know, at a certain point, it was kind of like on the back burner, and you didn't really feel like it was affecting nothing, and so you didn't think that far into the circumstance. And now that you understand, like this could be you, this could be a circumstance that your child or you are confronted with, and how do you deal with that? You
Right.
don't deal with it unless you're handling it in a certain way.
And dealing with it.
Yeah.
For sure.
Properly, anyway.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Well, that was good. That was a mouthful. That was a mouthful. That was very much needed and relevant to my life and your life today. So that really did shed a lot of light on that.
About the kids, we have talked to them though,
Mhm.
and we both.
Maybe they'll come do a special appearance.
What? We don't know
Yeah.
anything about that. So for our part two, we wanted to have other guests outside of the kids to be in attendance, but they could not be here.
Right.
And so, you know, Danielle, I really wanted to really talk to her and just see, you know, the mindset, you know, just now, like coming
Right.
out of that situation, growing up, you know, where we are today. Because I honestly feel like the both of us are really happy people.
For sure.
I love laughing
Me too.
and having fun and being happy. I'm
Mhm.
not down. So in this situation, it kind of like put a damper on who you are as a person. And I think that really shapes you.
Right.
It's like it's taken away from me.
Right.
It's not who I am. I don't
Right.
want to be this. I
Yeah,
don't
that's
want to go
true.
through this.
That's true. Taken
And you
away.
don't have a choice. You
Yep.
have to go through the motion.
Right.
And sometimes we fight that when we're going through certain things. But for us to, now we say 14 years, but the next year after this, because that's how determined I think I was too, is to get back my happiness and to have a certain level of joy.
Yeah.
But I was going through sort of this unorthodox, I don't care type of situation, just, breaking out of, being in that type of situation. I cut my hair, and for everybody that know me,
Cute little Bob. Cute little Bob.
cutting my hair is a no-go. But I cut my hair, like I just cut my hair not too long ago, so it was longer than this, but I cut it a few inches because it was breaking off, but keep having my hair in a bun. But in this time, I was turning 22.
Mm-hmm.
I cut my hair like in a bob, y'all. It was like straight bob. And we went out. I wish I could show y'all the pictures. I might attach the pictures to this particular.
You had those pictures?
I do this. Oh my gosh, when we was in your car. So we went nails long, look, nails long in design. We went to a concert. So I was turning 22, which means Danny was turning 20 then.
Mm-hmm.
If I was turning 22, because we went, it was warm outside.
Yeah, it was
'Cause
definitely
we was
warm.
wearing little skirts and
Girl,
everything.
I got that from Charlotte Rue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that means, so if I was turning 22, that means you was turning 20. So you was probably 19.
Oh yeah.
And we were in the summertime. But we went to Greensboro, and that's why I said we literally picked up life where we was at and just kept on moving. Like,
Yeah.
we was in a good mood.
In a good
Everything was
mood.
happy. We was moving on. Okay, great. We can do things. You're working. Fine. We going out of town. We went to a concert.
Had a time.
Greensboro.
Had a
And
time.
what, Shanika?
Yep, my friend Shanika. Yeah. Shout out to Nika's Kitchen. Yeah.
We had a fun time.
Yeah.
We did. We ain't gonna give y'all all the details. We had a grand time while we was out there, and it was like out of sight, out of mind. We just threw that behind.
Nobody, you know, you gotta tell you, like, don't nobody know me here. Don't nobody know me.
Exactly. Threw that back to the wind and really just went forward with life from there. But I can tell, like, even just by just looking at those pictures, like what things was going through my mind at that time. You were going through this I don't care type of phase, and you don't want to care, you don't want to be. And as life went on, just really gaining that back, your trust factor back, your love back, your
sense of identity.
Yeah, everything just building on its own. And so I have to appreciate that because, again, like I said, even Tilly, Jaquana, Joy, Danny, having these type of friends around me during that time frame that never left, regardless of our lifestyle, whatever was going on, everybody having their own kids and different things and what's going on with me, them taking the back seat, that never really affected me. I knew that they cared. I knew that they wanted to know what was going on with me. And we may not talk every day or whatever the case may be, but I knew that they the love was real and genuine.
Yeah. What Friday said, one call away?
Just
Friday, I ain't even talking to you right now, or honestly. You just did me dirty.
And so it's like, I knew that was present, and that really has helped me along the way, just knowing that there was a level of type of support, even just my mom and my dad, like, again, my brother, my sisters, them. Like, I never knew, like, what was going on through their head. I never was able to sit down and talk with them. And I was partially scared to really know,
that's,
like,
I feel like that's common in households.
Yeah, because of how
unfortunately,
I felt about it. I wanted this to go this way. I wanted this to go that way. What would you do if it was them? I knew what I would do.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so just talking to, because we had a number of different people reach out to us after the first episode and share their thoughts and feelings.
Beautiful, and I appreciate it. We appreciate all of it. Yeah.
Rachel, Jessica, Deandra. I had a lot of people reach out to me. Alan, after the first one, to really share their positivity and reaction. Sabrina, Shanika, Rachel. It was a lot of people that reached out and shared their comments and everything with us about what they felt and what they thought about it. And Keith, shared his feedback, just how things were going during that time. And I appreciate everyone doing that, because all those things have really shaped us and really helped us to move forward to this particular point. So I'm glad that you guys could be a part of it and that's sharing our story. We cannot wait to talk to you guys about the next topic coming up for our next podcast episode. We look forward to you guys joining in.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like. I always want to say that. Like, share, and subscribe.
Absolutely.
And comment below.
My name is Chandra.
And I'm Danielle.
And this is
The Living Room Flow. See y'all later.